8-hour limit, I think, on videos because they'll do that like
Uh,
Game of Thrones cat meow for like 8 hours straight. No,
right.
you've never seen that? Okay.
I have. Oh wait, no, I have. I have.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just saw one that was watch JonTron say "eh" for 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
That's exactly it.
anyway, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Super Brunch Force. My name is Brendon Bigley. I'm from Pixelitis.net.
And I am Mercer Smith Looper, and I'm also from Pixelitis.net.
Today we're sitting here. I'm in my new apartment slash podcast zone slash video recording zone with a bowl of cereal. I got crunch berries because I thought that, what says, hey, I'm an adult and I live in my own apartment, like crunch berry.
I don't know. Probably not much.
Nothing.
Probably
Nothing
not
else.
much.
That's it. That's the only thing.
No.
It's a requirement. Wait, so we just learned the face thing. Okay, cool. Now my camera's focused.
Just bring
um,
it face.
so I guess, Super Brunch Force, if you've never tuned in before, it's basically just 1 to 2 to 3 to all of Pixelitis' writers. I think we've only done 2 so far, but a bunch of Pixelitis' writers will get up early and we'll talk about past week in games, what we've been doing, what we thought was interesting news-wise. Yeah, so that's basically Super Brunch Force. Mercer, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Awesome.
What happened?
One of the
What happened, Mercer?
What happened?
What happened?
I don't know that I am the best resource on what happened overall, but I can. Oh, I was like, what was that noise?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. But I can say that
Oh, wait.
it's all
It's only
good.
showing me, apparently.
It's because you're just so handsome, Brendon.
I'll switch it manually.
No, it's totally fine. You don't need to switch it manually. It's not a big deal. I'm like, don't. The world does not need to see my face. Well, I mean, I think one of the major things that happened is Nintendo's consolidation of European offices. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about that at this point. Mainly, I think it's a huge bummer.
Yeah.
As someone who like grew up with Nintendo games, and like my whole family loves Nintendo games, it's definitely sad to see what's been happening with them lately. Did you follow that at all, or do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, there's been all of the. Wait, I have to switch this. Yeah, there we go. I've seen, just a myriad of articles talking about, oh, Nintendo is screwed. Everything is, the worst. Like, oh, they should get rid of the Wii U, they should put their stuff on other consoles, and blah, 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 blah. I don't subscribe to that idea. I'm more of the, Nintendo has so much money, it's absolutely insane. And, like, they've just been storing money. Like, the Wii made a ridiculous, ridiculous amount profit-wise, and they just hang on to it,
Yeah.
I think that this, to me, was a bigger shock than, like, oh, the Wii U wasn't selling.
Yeah.
Because for a company that constantly says, oh, no, financially we're in the clear, we're totally good, like, we can take a hit on the Wii U and we'll be all right, for them to close down, like, an entire branch was kind of, like, a little, that's the only, like, worrying thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could go both ways, right? So, like, on one hand, the consolidation is like, well, shit, that means that probably, like, fiscally they're not doing as well as everyone thinks they're doing. I mean, we all know that they've been having some financial issues for the past, like, 3 years. They've been in the red.
Right.
But I think that it could also be a very good thing, because it could just mean that they're trying to, like, consolidate efforts and maybe reconsider the direction that they're going in. That's kind of one of the positive things I could take from it, because, like, yeah, it's a bummer, like, 130 people, or approximately 130 people got let go, but at the same time, like, we've just seen a huge uptick in purchases of the Wii U, given the new Mario game. Yes. Like, my husband was, like, last night, was like, what is this game for? This is amazing. We should just go and buy one just for this game. And I'm like, yeah, you and everyone else are thinking that right now.
I just bought it.
Yeah, right?
It's killer.
Like,
it's the best.
So, like, that's a success, I think. And I feel like if they can pull together all of their efforts and maybe like try to redirect themselves into what they used to do, rather than like all these different forays that they seem to be going out into, I think it'll be much better for them. I think even you wrote about that in the picks, didn't you?
Yeah. I kind of compared it to Apple just had their Worldwide Developers Conference keynote. I
Mhm.
have a buddy who's making a game that I'm doing the soundtrack for who was there, and one of the big takeaways from that was that Apple has like a whole new mentality.
Yeah.
They're very 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 easygoing. Whereas Steve Jobs, he wasn't like a hard ass, but he was kind of like he would get
I'd
on
say he
stage and be
was.
like, "I'm changing the fucking world." That was like his thing. And now they get on stage and they're cracking jokes and they're showing all this absolutely ridiculous stuff. They're asking Siri weird questions, and it kind of showed a new Apple, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm hoping from Nintendo. And I guess you're right. Like that might not exactly be a negative thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that everyone lost their jobs.
Yeah, it's a total
Sorry
bummer.
about that. It's
Yeah.
a huge bummer. But it might be this new Nintendo. This Nintendo that kind of like, even though you had um, even though you had this like period where they were like, oh, we're totally just competing with Xbox and the PlayStation. At this point, they're pretty far removed from it, and
Yeah.
definitely so with doing a Nintendo Direct instead of actually showing up and doing a press conference at E3. And I think my biggest thing for them would be to show up in this Nintendo Direct and really just own,
Yeah.
like really just prove that they are a completely separate entity from everything else and that they're
Yeah.
following their own weird path, whatever that may be and wherever that may lead them. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they like kind of regain their confidence in a way.
Yeah, I mean, since the Tomodachi Life discussion that we had in the first ever Super Brunch Force,
Yeah.
I think that they've just done a lot of waffling over the course of the last bit of time, and I think that if they redirect and focus, it'll be good for them and good for everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. I just got a tweet from Karen,
Okay.
our editor, who said that she was a hipster and she just wanted a Wii U for Earthbound, which I also have on my Wii U. I have Wind Waker, Mario Kart 8, and Earthbound.
Do you like Wind Waker? How do you feel about Wind Waker?
uh, I like it a lot. I took a long because all right. So I got the Wii U. I got the Wii U for my dad because he's a really big Zelda fan. I
Mm-hmm.
got it for him so he could play Wind Waker, and then I played it a little bit, and that was in like I guess October-ish. I
Uh-huh.
played it a little bit when that happened, and then had to leave for a while because I moved out of my house and blah blah blah, and couldn't come back and play it all the time. But now I have the Wii U, and I went
You
back to go
have the
play it.
power.
Yeah, I have the power, and going back and like trying to dive in, about like a third of the way into that game is really weird.
Yeah,
But having played it, prior to that, it is awesome and still holds up graphically.
that's awesome.
Today, it didn't really need a lot of the HD stuff, I guess, because like the art style is so beautiful that it kind of still works. But anyway, it's a great game. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so
Yeah, no, me too. That's why I asked about Wind Waker.
yeah. If you guys get a Wii U, I highly recommend picking that up. Actually, if you get Mario Kart 8, you get a free game, and one of them is Wind Waker.
Oh, awesome. That's perfect. Yeah, my husband and I are large Zelda fans as well. So
Yeah, the what is it? The Mario Kart 8 bundle I think is like insane. It comes with Mario Kart 8, it comes with an extra controller, like the wheel thing, and
yeah.
then because you get Mario Kart 8, you get another game with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a pretty ridiculous deal.
Yeah, we were like very seriously looking into this like
Yeah,
just last night. So
highly recommend it. So we were just talking about actually, I just want to bring this up real quick. We were just talking about right before we went on the air about Tomodachi Life and the change in the wind for both of us. Um, so Mercer, right before we went on, was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting Tomodachi Life," and I was like, "I was thinking about getting it too, but I didn't want to say anything because our first Super Brunch Force was just shitting on that game and how fucked up it was that they didn't have like a quality in it." So I think we're both probably gonna end up getting this game.
yes, I would agree with that.
Realistically, the screenshots I've seen so far are absolutely ridiculous, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Did you see the trailer that Patrick tweeted at me the
No,
other? Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Tomodachi?
Yes, it's like this 10-minute trailer, and he was like, "This is what convinced me to get the game," and ultimately, it's what convinced me to get the game
Oh
too.
man,
So.
okay, I'm hyped then. Uh, moving right along, I played a game this week that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. I was going to do an initial pixel of it, and I recorded it, and I went to go edit it, and it's called Among the Sleep. I just got lots of tweets.
Oh.
I think we're ruining everything.
Uh
What do we got? It's not just
oh.
about its
Okay.
everlasting prettiness. It's about the exploration sense of adventure. I agree with you, Patrick. I kind of want that game too. Probably will buy today. So Karen's also going to buy Tamagotchi Life, and then the three of us can hang out and be nerds.
Yep.
So I played this game. It's called Among the Sleep. Is an indie survival horror title where you play as a 2-year-old from a first-person perspective, and it is super creepy.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I bet.
I went to go make a video of it, and unfortunately, and this is the thing that I brought up in the video, but I didn't realize it was gonna like wreck the video. There are some like real heavy frame rate issues. So what was happening with this game was that it would record the video of the game, but it was recording from the actual like code of the game, so it was recording what was supposed to be happening and not what was actually happening, like not what I was seeing. So I wasn't getting the frame rate in the actual recorded video. I wasn't getting that problem. So my audio track ended up being like about 6 minutes longer than the actual video itself, which was a huge bummer because the game is good. Like the game is actually really good. You start off as this, as a 2-year-old, and there's a knock at the door, and your mom goes to get it, and she has an argument in the hallway, and you're like kind of freaked out because you're 2, and like there's loud noises happening, and then she comes back and she has this present, and you open up the present, and there is a walking and talking teddy bear who's like, "Hey, let's go in this closet. That'd be a good idea, right?" And then you go in, and shit gets so weird and terrifying, and I don't want to say too much, for fear of spoiling the game. I know Karen, who's watching right now, wanted to check it out. Karen, go play that game.
Didn't she? I thought she had checked it out. I thought that she was what inspired the. Yeah, I thought that she. Yeah, she had written something about Among the Sleep, I think. Maybe I'm imagining that. Am I crazy?
I don't know. I just remember her telling me that she wanted to check it out. I don't know. Maybe she'll probably tweet at us and let us know. But that said, it's super good, and I'm really hyped on it. I'm excited to keep playing it. I only played about the first hour for this video, but it is super interesting. And then on top of that, let's see. On top of that, I also played Marvel Heroes 2115. Have you played Marvel Heroes at all, or like Diablo or Torchlight or anything? Oh, you played Marvel Heroes?
Yeah.
Did you play the beta or like after it came out?
I played the beta.
Okay. I also only played the beta, so they basically just rebranded the whole game and like added a crap ton of features, and they've been doing that over the course of I guess the past year since it came out. But I went back and played it, and it feels a lot better, which is weird. And on top of that, you have I think probably your biggest gripe and my biggest gripe, I would imagine it was everyone's biggest gripe for the game, was the price of things, right? So it was a free-to-play game, but like if you wanted to play as Deadpool, you had to throw down $20.
Yeah.
Which is like that's too much. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was just gonna say, with like microtransactional games, that's exactly what it has to be. It has to be a microtransaction, not like a $20 transaction.
Yeah, it can't be a macro transaction.
Yeah, exactly. Like that just doesn't that doesn't work as like a scheme at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I went back. They have like a new tutorial level and stuff like that, and the combat feels a little bit better. They allowed me, because I haven't played since the beta. First weird thing, they let me keep everything that I bought with the free money that they gave me in the beta, which was really nuts. So I was still playing as Deadpool, which I was really hyped about. But the thing that I wanted to bring up, and the thing that I mentioned in this initial Pixel video, is that I think that this is the best Deadpool game like we'll ever get. I don't know, who did you play as when you were playing Marvel Heroes?
I don't think that I played that deep into it. I think that I mainly watched my husband play it. So I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's cool. So I played as Deadpool, and Deadpool's really interesting. I guess for people who don't know who Deadpool is, from the comics, he is basically like a farce of superhero-dom. So he has his voice, which comes out in like regular speech bubbles, and then he has this yellow voice, and this yellow voice kind of comments on what's happening within the comic book. So he's breaking the fourth wall constantly.
Right.
They put out a Deadpool game.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, isn't there like a full Deadpool game? I thought.
Yeah, and it didn't do very well review-wise, and was like apparently just didn't follow the spirit of the character that well. This game, Marvel Heroes, if you play as Deadpool, is awesome. Like, he's constantly, like, you'll kill a guy, and he'll be like, oh, why did I kill you? Like, you don't have enough experience. Like, you're not worth it, you know? And he'll, like, constantly be commenting on that kind of stuff, and, you know, like, certain characters will run by, like if someone's playing as Wolverine and Wolverine runs by, he'll be like, hey, man, you want to fight?
That's
Like,
awesome.
just all the time. He's constantly, like, cracking, like, weird jokes. And then his abilities are awesome, you know, they're, like, called, like, punchy punchy, or, like, kicky shoot, or, like, weird stuff like that. Or, like, just, like, I think one of them is called Flesh Wound, and that's, like, your regular, like, attacking.
That's awesome.
You feel like a badass, which is really cool. They added these movement, so when we were playing the beta, they didn't have these, like, super fast movement keys, right?
Right.
So, like, right now I could hit A and do, like, a quick roll. So when I'm doing, like, a quick roll, you know, over to one guy, and then I slice him, and then turn around and throw a grenade at another guy, and then throw down, like, those, like, ninja spikes on the ground, so anyone who comes near me is getting hurt, and then I just shoot around in a circle. I feel like the coolest guy.
As you should. That sounds
ever.
pretty cool. Yeah.
It's pretty badass. That said, I don't know how the other characters are, because I'm only playing as Deadpool, and I have 2 other characters. I have Storm and I have Daredevil. I haven't played as either of them.
Interesting.
But they've added a bunch more characters, some, like, real deep cuts, like Squirrel Girl.
Oh, that's wow. that is something.
Squirrel Girl's really interesting as a character.
Yeah.
You should look her up sometime. She's nuts. I forget who it is.
Nice.
She, I think, is the only Marvel character to have ever beaten Doctor Doom, if I'm not mistaken, somehow.
Looking it up right now.
Yeah. Or is she the only? No, I'm sorry. She's the only one that ever beat Deadpool. Somehow. I don't know. Really crazy. It's like this weird, like, joke where, you know, she's just, like, based off of a squirrel, and it doesn't make any sense how she would be, like, the strongest character in the Marvel universe, but, like, everyone is afraid of her. Everyone's terrified of Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. My computer is, like, not having a great time, though, so I might have to not look her up right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's funny that you mention, like, a game that is not super recent that you've been playing as of late, because I recently re-picked up MK vs. DC, another comic-based game, because my husband had never played it, and I was like, this game sucked up, like, a year of my life on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, this is great, playing it on, like, the PlayStation. And I forgot how, like, in-depth that game can go, I guess, and, like, how much skill it actually takes for what is, like, a essentially just beat-em-up game. Like,
yeah.
Because you could just mash buttons and be like, derp, 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 all right, cool, you're dead.
Yeah.
Or you could actually take the time to learn all of the commands and buttons and stuff, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I really like that game. I played it very, very, very briefly, but I was super into it. And then because of that, I ended up getting I just forgot the name of it. The whole DC game, the whole DC fighting game, starts with an I.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I know this. I don't. Injustice?
Yes, Injustice Gods Among Us. Because I read the book also, the comics. The comics are super crazy. It's like Superman kills Lois Lane by accident, and like shit gets crazy, and he takes over the world because he's so angry, and he's like, I'm a god. Really, really, really nuts. Okay, the video, I just got a tweet from Patrick. The video was the Tamagotchi Life Nintendo Direct.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought...
It's amazing. It's so good. And it is convincing. Injustice is great if you haven't played it. I highly recommend it. If you have an iPad, actually, they have an iPad version, which I know sounds weird, and it's just like tapping and stuff, like to fight, but like you have to tap in certain directions. But it's really cool, and it gives you a sense of the game, and then if you like it enough, I highly recommend picking up the whole thing, because the story is really good, like surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. And the game itself is actually fun and has that same like MK vs. DC vibe to it.
That's awesome. Yeah, my Jerry and I, my husband, are looking for games to like co-op and play with each other.
Yeah.
Because he so frequently has command over our television, which is a really big bummer for me. And I miss playing console games. So that's a good recommendation. At least we can like fight against each other or something.
There you go. Yeah, you can take out all of your anger on each other via DC characters.
I mean, what better way to do it, really?
Yeah. Cool. So I think that might wrap it up for us today. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
No. WildStar, you should play it. Everyone should play it.
Yeah, I
All
think
people need to play WildStar.
yeah, I think we're gonna be doing next Friday a stream of WildStar. That's gonna be really cool. I haven't played it a whole bunch. I just played the beta for like 2 days, and then thank you, Mercer. I just got a whole code for the game for a week, so I can try it out and see if I really like it. And I definitely am going to really like it. So I'm excited to keep playing it.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't seen any negative reviews of it on the internet, which is strange because I would suspect. I mean, someone's gonna now send me like all of these negative reviews,
Yeah.
which is fine. But like most
Page
of the people
8
I've
of
talked to,
Metacritic, right?
yeah, exactly.
Where
Like,
it starts with like 40 and keeps going down.
yeah, it's just like everyone I've talked to has said like either one, I'm afraid to play it because I know that it's going to be the end of me,
Yeah.
or two, I love this game, I'm already playing it every day, all day, or three, my husband doesn't usually play games like this, but now we're playing it together, so it's okay, or like anything
awesome.
like that. Like, it's all of it's been good. So I mean, I say like even if people like Steven are like MMO is a dying genre potentially, like should try it because I think it has a lot of stuff for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's always wanted to play an MMO but can never really find one that like really grabbed me, WildStar really grabbed me, which I didn't expect. Honestly, I hated the intro. I hated the tutorial. I thought it was like just so cliched and not fun. And then as soon as you get down to Nexus, it's like, oh wow, this game is awesome. This game is really great.
It's also huge. Like, it's so vast. I don't know how far you played, but once you get to like the first main city, there's so much there that it's like almost overwhelming. Like when I first got to the city, I was like, man, I can't.
Yeah.
So.
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday when we play that game together. I am super excited, but now I'm gonna go play that game.
Yep, and I'm gonna go buy Tamagotchi Life.
Yes. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna pick that up on Tuesday. Actually, I should mention before we go, there's gonna be a lot of E3 coverage coming from Pixelitis. Yes. I will be stationed right here, watching everything, live blogging some things, live tweeting some things, and just generally writing a whole bunch of stories. And then our own editors, Patrick and Karen, will be there at the conferences as well, doing interviews and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be really crazy day. I urge you and please
implore you.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I implore you, come to Pixelitis for your E3 coverage, because it's going to be awesome.
Look at that earnest face. Holy cow. If that doesn't convince people, I don't know what does. Good lord.
Yes.
All right.
The importance of being earnest. All right. My name is Brendon Bigley from Pixelitis.net.
I'm Mercer Smith-Looper.
And this has been Super Brunch Force. We'll see you next week.
Adios, amigos. Or on Monday.
If you're checking out our E3 stuff.
All the time.
You know what we should do? I know this is crazy. You know what we should do? We should do like a special Super Brunch Force specifically for E3. We should do like maybe one of them like on Wednesday or something. We should do like an early one.
Okay, we could do that.
Maybe not brunch. Maybe like just a Google Hangout in general, and we could talk about the day or something. But anyway, goodbye everyone.
Bye.
Enjoy weekend.